Yes, apparently Lord of the Open Marriage Manor Lloyd is now the judge, jury, and executioner, where he got all mad that a bunch of YouTubers gave their opinions about the self-proclaimed mediator between Watchtower and the rest of humanity appearing on TV shows, and he can't take it that his public persona is up for criticism and parody because he's a public figure and even did his own videos and published a book about his own private life and his problems with selfie sex and sex with other people who he's not married to. Evans' JW Watch website is set up much like the Watchtower Corporation, and he has a nerve to post a jw.org giant logo on his bookshelf behind him in his videos, and he set up his office as a bona fide JW branch office. It looks like he's a paid satellite office for the Watchtower Corporation. Following is an excerpt from one of Lloyd's videos that was posted and critiqued by the Faithful Slave YouTuber, where Lloyd himself asked people to judge his actions about, I guess, partying in Thailand, leaving his wife home alone, and that is none of our business about his past that he reveals in his book and later on YouTube. That he has a problem with porn and hookers, and he now asks the audience out there to judge his actions. Subsequently, a lot of people issue their opinions via social media and YouTube, and now Lloyd is angry that some of his followers fled his coop. So here comes the solicitation letters from Lloyd's solicitor asking for dough and claiming everyone is guilty of a criminal offense, since Mr. Famous Public Figure Lloyd feels he was somehow damaged when evidence exists he confessed to a bunch of stuff no one knew about, but he does not blame himself for shooting off his mouth, and video evidence exists of him doing just that. So everyone receiving those solicitation for money letters, well, you may be falling into a trap, since Lloyd knows everyone would laugh those off. Then he can turn around and sue the internet and everyone behind those screens who don't agree with him. And according to the Lloyd letter, everyone is already convicted in his mind of criminal action. If they don't pay the small amount now, later in court, he just knows he can demand even more money from everyone because he already said in those letters that everyone is already guilty of a criminal offense. Excuse me. There you go, guys. Evans is the judge, jury, and executioner. When insiders are alleging that Evans is already under psychiatric care and his own walls inside his head are crumbling as we speak. Here's the excerpt from the Faithful Slave YouTube channel. Link to the full video and the Lloyd litigation letter is in the description box below this video.
I feel like I've overshared already. It's very much a TMI situation, isn't it? I literally don't have anything to hide anymore. It's quite liberating in a way, although again, I resent being put in this situation. So yeah, I'll let the audience adjudicate, you know? Are things as grave as Kim would like you to believe? You know, you be the judge.
So there's Lloyd, literally saying at the end of his infamous confession video that he will let the viewers adjudicate. We can be the judge. Has he committed a terrible offense, as Kim Silvio has painted it? That's really interesting that he said that, don't you think?
Yeah, just be patient, really.
Yeah, we're going to be patient. I find it very remarkable that in the same video he said, "None of this is anyone's business but mine and my family." And in the same video at the end he says, "So there you have it. I will allow the viewers to adjudicate." I'll let you be the judge. He invited every single one of his subscribers and everyone who could possibly be privy to that video to literally judge him. People, all right? I wanted to start the video off with that because, again, this needs to be very clear to everybody. We need to remember that we're not picking on him. We're not bullying him. We're not invading his privacy. He invited us all to make up our minds on this egregious behavior of his that he carried on for years. But then it got so much better. This guy, then after inviting us to judge him, after we chimed in, became furious. He went on a campaign. He sent out dozens of these documents, and they hit people's mailboxes earlier this week. And the wording they're such a joke. I mean, I'm not going to go into it that in depth because you've probably already seen stuff about it, but this litigation paperwork that he sent everybody was a joke. All it was solicitation. It wasn't a legal document. The wording in this letter was, because of the defamation of my character, I invite you to pay 3,000 euros or whatever the currency is. I don't know what you guys have over there. Sorry, but it's like, we invite you to pay for the damages that I have incurred to my important work. It's like something like that, and it's like, so this litigation, this legal document is basically saying, please pay me. I'm very upset and distraught. Would you kindly give me money? So I know what the purpose of this paperwork was. It was to bully the XJW community. It was to threaten, and hopefully Lloyd thought that by sending out this obvious joke of a document, that it was going to scare people into not talking about this huge scandal that he openly invited us to participate in and to judge and adjudicate. I think I should play it again. You want to hear it again? Because it's just so good. Oh my gosh. Here we go.
My video is frozen again.